Sometimes I feel a little bit rusty, and I think this is exactly what happened this time. I hadn't picked up a paintbrush in a little over a week, ever since we came home from our trip, and it just didn't feel right when I started that last one. It felt splotchy, I felt disconnected. It's hard to explain. So I just decided to chuck that one for now and start fresh. And that's fine. That's not something that you know, if you should be worried about if that happens to you. It's just part of the process, and in the end it's just paper. So I started new, and I liked what happened in the beginning here right away, much more than what I did with the old one. So we're just gonna explore me putting down these colors while I talk a little bit more about the other piece that I didn't finish. As you will see at the end of this video, I did in fact go back and mold it over and then finished it with doodles and my lines. So I am happy to report that it did make it into a video. I am just not going to post that one on YouTube. Because I was struggling with it so much, I decided that I wanted to use that opportunity to post this as my first Patreon video so that I could really go into it and dissect it and talk about it and let you guys know exactly what my thought process was while I was trying to fix it. So if you are interested in more behind the scenes footage and me talking about my artistic process a little bit more, feel free to come over to Patreon and join me over there. For now, I will just have one tier until I figure things out, and it will be mostly probably videos like that first one that I will be posting. Behind the scenes, a lot of talking, no fancy cuts, no music. You know, I just want to keep it as simple as possible for me to edit it and post it. And if you feel like, you know, this is something that you might be interested in, come over and see what it's all about. I will also start posting the newer YouTube videos over there as well, so that you can watch those ad-free and enjoy it without interruption. I am excited for this new platform and the things that will be posted over there, but it's very new to me and I am not quite sure how it works. So if you are willing to stick around and help me through the process, and most of all be patient with me while I navigate through all the ins and outs of you know, posting on a new platform, I would be ever so grateful. Also, I'm hoping that we can connect a little bit more over there and build a community of experienced artists, new artists, artists that, you know, have taken a break and are coming back, and, you know, just talk about it and have fun over there. The link to the Patreon account will be posted in the description box down below, where you can find everything else pertaining to this video as usual. But let's go back to this little guy over here. I found these new markers They are gold markers and they come in different sizes. I have shown them off a little bit in my latest haul video, which you can find just, I think, one video back. If you want to know more about these pens and what I think about them, you can go watch that video as well. I wanted to keep the composition fairly simple, and I also realized that I started the neurographic lines in the gold as well, which I didn't think I was going to do, but I was having fun exploring the gold pens on the watercolor paper, and I decided that I should continue with the lines in gold. I have to say I quite like it. I've been wanting to do my lines in a different color, and I am excited that the gold turned out to be a nice first try. I'm still learning about these gold pens, and some of the lines in the circles kind of got disconnected as I was using it. Maybe I wasn't pushing too hard on the paper, I don't know. And I did find that the gold isn't as shiny as it was on the mineral paper when I used it there. And I think it's because the watercolor paper is much more absorbent. I am hoping that with use I will find a good way of using those pens. Right now, as I was retracing certain parts of the gold in this one, it did turn out a little bit more shiny, but I'm hoping that I won't have to do that with every line that I draw with these pens. This might just be user error on my part, so I'm not criticizing those pens. I was happy with the gold, and now it is time to bring in my black markers and some of the doodles that I did in my sketchbook while I was on vacation have found their way into this little painting here, which I was very happy about. I like using the dark markers in lighter spots and lighter markers such as the white ones in the darker spots, just to balance the piece out a little bit more. And that's exactly what I was trying to do here. I find little spots that are lighter in certain areas and then just fill them out with my lines. And if you've been watching my latest videos, you will notice that I don't mix up my doodles as much anymore. I don't know, lately I've just been enjoying the lines and my little cobblestones, as I call them, and some circles, neuralines, dots, and things like that. So lots of little lines, fine lines, thicker lines, lines with different spacing, and so on. There's a lot of ways you can use the same doodle type, but switch it up by using thinner and thicker pens. And then I came back in with my gold marker to finish the piece off with those teensy tiny dots that I did in my practice piece on the mineral paper. I really enjoyed those, so I wanted to bring those in, especially look at how beautiful the gold looks in these darker spaces right there. I really like it. And of course, the acrylic paint and my dotting tool are never far behind these days. And I wanted to just put some dots on top of those lines over here to finish them off a little bit more. And this is a good example, again, what I meant by using the same or similar doodles, but changing them up a little bit. This is another example. I like drawing these bubbles, and I also try not to fill in that whole shape. I only fill it in where I see one color, so that it is not a block full of these bubbles. And then I do the same when I bring in my dotting tool and my acrylic paint, and then I tie it in with some more circles over here. I might be wrong, but to me it feels like I'm tying everything together. I feel like the most satisfying part of the whole process is tearing off that masking tape, because it feels like you can finally see the full piece without any distractions. So to me it really helps seeing the whole composition as a whole. I really enjoyed how this little guy turned out, and I'm also excited that it ended up matching my first one that almost didn't make it. But as promised, here is a sneak peek of what that first painting turned out. I am so happy I was able to fix it and to recover it, and that it didn't land in the no good pile. And as I mentioned, the whole process from A to Z, without any interruptions, without any cuts, will be on Patreon at some point this coming week. And here are the two together. Don't they make a nice pair? I am so excited. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.